So this is like the first voiceover video I guess I'm doing for this, and I'm kind of very upset because I had video recorded this entire drawing, and when I finished the recording, it had only recorded the last section of the drawing, and I was like, why did you do that? Because there was 2 points where Procreate, which is the program I'm using to draw this, had crashed, and I guess when it had crashed, it had restarted the screen recording process, and I didn't know, because when it crashed, I was like, oh, it's still screen recording, I'll just cut it out in the final edit. But no, just had to screw me over, but that's alright, I guess. But this drawing is about my OCs, which are featured in my comic, and this is what I'm doing the art for. It's kind of like not a cover, because this is too, I guess it would be a cover, but it's a landscape and not portrait for a comic cover. But it's kind of like a cover for my comic, which is called Broken World. It's on Webtoon Canvas, and I've been drawing it for about 3 years almost, which is so strange to me that I've been drawing this comic for 3 years. And I've gone through the process of redrawing it once, because the first time I wasn't satisfied with how I was doing the story. It still is kind of the same story, but a lot of changes have gone through, even though they didn't seem like big changes, but to me they were big changes. There's an animatic that's about my OCs that's in a video on my channel, which might spoil some things for later, but not yet. Those things haven't happened yet, and there's no reason why. So I guess it's not a complete spoiler, but just like a little teaser for that. You have no reason why things are happening, but the music might give you a hint. But these are my characters. I could name them for you. The one I'm drawing right now in purple, that's Delilah. Next to her, in a yellowish green, that's Lincoln, with a K, because for some reason I thought that was cool. Next to him is Joey. I love them. Next to Joey is James, in pink. Next to James is Adeline. And above all of them is Isaac, with a K at the end. I really like my K's, apparently. But Isaac's name actually used to be something different. It used to be Jacob, but I changed it because I didn't like Jacob anymore. Because when I started drawing my comic, his name was Jacob, but I didn't get to the part where he was in it. So I was like, I still have time to change his name. His name is Jacob now. So there was little changes like that, even though they completely changed things, like a name or certain plot points changed, and I was like, I'm really happy I decided to redraw it, because I had been doing it for like about a couple months, but I was like, I'm not really satisfied with what this is and how it's going, so I'm gonna change some things. I'm gonna start over, and I think that was really what made it better. Like, the art's still bad. A couple years ago, my art style was somewhere. Still is somewhere now, but I like it more, my art style, and things have changed with my art style that I'm more happy about, and I look at the beginning chapters of my comic, I'm like, damn, I wish I could change some things. This looks ugly, this is cringe, but I keep it up there. I'm not going to start over for a third time, because if I keep starting over, then I'm not going to get anywhere now. And I think the art is better now. The style for the comic isn't necessarily as rendered as this one is. I use cell shading for my comic, which I thought was a better choice because I'm going to be making several comic pages and I would be spending hours if I did them all this highly rendered, which I did once for a different side comic I did for an assignment, and it was hell. I spent like over 20 hours doing 4 pages, and I like blew out my wrist. I did them over like the span of 2 days because it was an assignment and I'm a procrastinator. And I regretted every moment of like, why didn't I do this earlier? Why did I choose this style to draw it in? And I'm kind of glad that my webcomic does not follow that style, because it would be disastrous if that's what the style was for my comic. But as you can see, coloring, and thing with my like characters that each of them have like an assigned color to them, as you can see, and it reflects like who they are, their personalities, but it also affects like their powers in the comic, because my comic, Funny, is a superhero comic. I say superhero in loose terms because they are superheroes, but they're also kind of not, because it's like a My Hero Academia situation where everyone has powers, but they have the better powers in this universe, because the universe started with their powers, but people die. So as like people died, and they weren't there to protect the world, so to say, people started developing their own weaker powers, but still powers to defend themselves. But they reincarnate as different people, but with the same powers, and they are meant to save the world. But in this timeline of people, I call them elementals, in this timeline, they are dealing with something that is very dangerous, because they're expected to save the world once more, but they're like all kids and they don't really wanna save the world. I mean, if you were like a kid and you were told you have to save the world, you have no other choice, I feel like that would be a very scary thing to be told. But yeah, they have to save the world, but they don't really want to, but they're forced in this situation where that's their destiny, to save the world, which is like a pretty shitty destiny. No childhood, you save the world. Mom says it's my turn on the Xbox, you go outside and save the world. But yeah, I've been working on the story. The story came about on like this weird like bout of art block. I was like so stuck in drawing. I didn't know what to draw at all, and I was so lost for a couple of months. I was like, my art sucks, I don't know what to do. Everything I draw, I can't draw. But I went on like Pinterest one day and I was like, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna draw, and I'm not gonna stop. And I went on Pinterest for inspiration, and that's where Joey came in. We're in the middle. I saw like these stars, like it was like a picture of a star eye, and I was like, that's cool. I'm gonna draw someone with star eyes. And then that's what this turned to be, star eyes. It looks like I'm not doing anything, but I'm actually going around the characters and erasing some of the bits with the line art. I don't know if you can see it, but a thing with my line art is that the way I do colors, it like leaves some of the line art like not colored, and that really bothers me. So I just went around and erased the line art that didn't blend in with all the colors, and now that bit's over. And now I see I put the background and there's still more, so I went back and I erased more bits because I was like, I don't like how this looks. And we're nearing to the end now, but just doing some last finishing touches with edginess in the background. I didn't like how that turned out, so I decided to get rid of it. Adding glass, broken glass, because it's broken world, haha, and adding some effects, I don't know. But this is the finished piece, and hope you all liked the piece and my voice. So, bye.